No, it's not just about me. They started actually putting Robyn in their crosshairs.
That's true. I feel like I could definitely see that people were, like, attacking Robyn out of nowhere. Like, I get that he wants, like, an apology, but Robyn's not the only one who had, like, people attacking her. While she's not, like, the one that's at fault here, not like anybody else is more at fault than she is. I think the real problem here is that Kody just has favorites.
Hey everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, March 20th, 2023, and we are back for the second video of the day, this time about sister wives. Okay, I just have to put this out there. If you haven't watched my new video on Josh Duggar, you don't normally watch content on the Duggars, make sure that you check it out. There's a lot of stuff that's getting leaked out by people from family members of like inmates that know him, and it's really wild what's going on in Seagaville and what Josh is up to. It'll maybe blow your mind a little bit. And I was thinking, get me back on track to the sister wives, that I did a video last week and I talked about how it was an article saying that Robyn was upset that the other wives had left her with a brooding Kody and that she didn't like seeing them like all happy and going on dates, and it like almost to the extent that it was like making her jealous. At the time in the video, I said, well, I don't understand this. Like, why would she be jealous? The only one that's really going out on dates that I know about is Christine. Well, thank you to my lovely subscribers. And when you reach out to me and send me tips, a lot of you say, keep me anonymous. So this person wanted to be anonymous. They told me to check out Mary Brown's Friday Night with Friends. And it was from this past Friday, St. Patrick's Day. So I'm cruising through it and I'm watching it. And Mary and her friend Jen are going to an 80s prom. So somebody's hosting a prom night and the theme is 80s, like the 1980s. And everyone is supposed to dress like they're going to the prom like it's the 1980s. Kind of like when our parents, like when my parents were, like when I was a kid, my parents would do like everything would be 50s because like they grew up in the 50s and 60s. So I think kind of like that. Everyone's in the 80s prom. I grew up in the 90s, so I can remember the hair. I remember that hair. I was too young though to really benefit from the wild hair of the 80s. So anyways, they're going to this 80s prom and they are seeking dates. So people are supposed to apply by emailing Jen, her friend who works at her friend Just Jen. She goes by Just Jen. She works at the inn with Mary. But she lives in a different state. But Jen is coordinating for Mary to have a date to go to the 80s prom. And according to Jen, there's been a couple applicants that have wanted to go on a date with Mary. So now that article that came out by Radar Online puts things in a much different perspective, because I thought, why would Robyn have cared about Christine moving on? Because she already kind of had accepted, right, that that Christine was leaving. But Mary was the reason why she joined the family. So if you remember the show and the book and their lies, according to them, the three of them, Robyn, Kody, and Mary, they met Robyn when they were visiting a friend who happened to be Robyn's cousin. And that's how they got introduced. And then later on, they were at a dance and Kody was urged or like nudged by Mary to ask Robyn to dance. And the friendship that she said she developed between her and Mary, and then watching Mary and Kody's relationship, was a catalyst for Robyn saying she felt comfortable joining the family. Now, we know that's what they've said publicly, right? But we know privately from sources from up north, Robyn wants to be famous. She had goals of writing a New York Times bestseller, being on Oprah, making a difference, blah, blah, blah. She wrote about that in the book. People have alleged from her past that she's gotten a shopping addiction. Someone that is a relative of Preston, her ex-husband's, was telling me that Robyn wanted to be on a reality show, and it was like her really big thing. So there is probably a lot of issues here. I mean, probably a lot of reasons why she joined the family, but I think the fact that she got along with Meri was probably a big part of that. And I think they did get along in the beginning. And I think Robyn and Meri's relationship was, on the show at least, portrayed to be as a one that was close. And I think for as far as Meri can be close to someone that's a sister wife, I think Robyn would have been the one that she would have been the closest to. Meri went along with their plan. I still don't believe that Meri actually wanted the divorce. I think that Kody encouraged her to do this. But anyways, Meri's the one that divorced Kody so Robyn could marry him so they could adopt the kids. Meri was the one that would always help with Robyn's kids. Meri's the one that Robyn's kids actually like. Robyn and Meri, in this last season, Robyn like begged Meri to not leave her alone. Like, she begged her and said, you can't leave me. Like, you have to stick in there with me. We have to rebuild. In that exact same episode, when she was begging Meri to say, we'll rebuild, she's also says that she wouldn't put it like, she wouldn't blame Meri if she moved on. Basically because Kody has basically friend zoned her. Who is the most likely person, if this story is true, that Robyn would be jealous of? Do you think she gives two flying craps about Christine, or is it that she's jealous that Meri is now out there having fun and maybe going out on dates, even though she hasn't even had the date? Like, it's literally like in a couple weeks this event is happening, okay? Meri hasn't even had the date yet, and apparently, according to Radar Online, Robyn is already jealous that she's gonna have a date because she's been left with Kody and his moods. What I find ironic, though, in this is that Kody was never with Meri anyway, so how would she have been able to like help Meri with the moods? Because Kody and Meri didn't live together, they didn't share a house, they didn't cohabitate. Meri and Kody finalizing their split didn't really change anything, like from a perspective like taking time, where that she would have to spend less time with Kody. But it makes sense now that Meri's out there trying to find a date for this 80s prom. Jen is trying to help. They're making it like it's some sort of charity that they're doing this for. And I don't know if you actually win the date or if you just are entering a raffle for the date. I don't know. But Meri is going to go on a date. It's an interesting way to find a date, let's just say. I would have thought maybe Meri might want to find her own date, but maybe she thought this would be a fun way to engage with her audience and then a way for her to pretend like, or to show to people that she's moving on. But if it's in the context of Meri moving on, I could totally see that making Robyn mad, jealous, angry. Because as much as Robyn wants to win, and win she must, I do think that part of the exhilaration of hers is being the one to win and having to compete. And now that there's no competition, the chase is over and she doesn't have any sister wives left, which she claimed she still believes in. She's left with a man that she gets all the time, that she pretty much had all the time anyway, but she has no one left to yell at or to scream to about Kody's behavior. And because Kody has no one left to take things out on, he's going to take it out on her. He has no other, like before when Christine and Janelle were around, he could just take it out on them and yell at them and have arguments with them. But they're not going to want to engage in arguments with him anymore. So Robyn's going to take all the brunt of that. Which gets me to this video clip I showed you at the very beginning of Gwendlyn. Okay, so Gwendlyn just watched this video, the episode where Kody and Janelle were at Fat Olives and they were talking about their relationship. The reason why I wanted to bring this up is that she made some comments about Kody's relationships with the kids and Robyn's role in all of this. Now, when I watched this on Friday, I remembered her saying something like Robyn playing the victim and being like the one to play like she's the one that's always being attacked. And she does say that. She said like Robyn acts like she was the only one being attacked when everyone was getting attacked. And mind you, not everyone feels like she's the one that should have been attacked or that it was fair for people to take things out on her. But the way that Robyn would spin things, she was always the victim. So everyone was being mean to her without any sort of understanding of her role in all of that. This was also the same episode where Kody was talking about how he didn't get to see Aurora for 10 days. And Gwendlyn made the comment that he would not feel that way if it were her, and it actually made her feel upset.
Rude. It felt offensive to me because I don't know, I've never seen or felt that he ever felt like sad about not being able to see me for a long period of time. It felt detached and unreal to me because it just felt different because I've known him for longer and he's been in my life longer than he's been in Robyn or any of her kids' lives. And it's like, and so is Gabe. And it's like, it's weird because how can you so easily push aside somebody with that much history and like just treat them as second? It's weird. It's just weird to me.
She said that her feelings about her father have gotten worse since she's been watching the show and seeing how he treats her mother. But before she started watching this, she still didn't have a very good relationship with him. She said that what sort of gets to her is that how could her dad, Kody, pick Robyn and her kids over his other children and wives that have been in his life longer and just sort of push them aside with all the history that they had and treat them like second-class citizens when they knew each other longer, they had been together longer, and they were still his children. It's almost like they feel like they've been cast aside, and it was because he needed to have a new wife and he picked a favorite, okay? And she doesn't feel like he's ever expressed that he missed her. Now, as far as like the yelling and the screaming and the outbursts, she said that that's just normal and that Kody acts like that, and it's not anywhere as far as like, that's just how she knows him, is like this yelling, brooding guy. She also said that there's like really only one kid that's not estranged from Kody, that between Janelle and her mom's kids, and that's Mykelti. So Kody has no relationship basically with any of his kids other than Mykelti. So how can he say that he has a blessing of all these kids when Gwendlyn is saying, well, he's pretty much estranged from all of us because he picked Robyn and her kids?
Never appeared that way in the first 15 seasons. Robyn was treated kindly. Has everyone called him out for believing Robyn's pathological lies that she has been feeding to your dad to make him honestly believe she was treated so badly? I have a feeling the wives never treated her as bad as she said. I honestly agree with that. I feel like it never really happened. From my memory especially, it seemed like in the situation, Robyn was just one of the wives. If there's been any weird animosity, it's not because we've been mistreating Robyn. It's because she's been victimizing herself or mistreating us.
When it comes to Robyn and how Robyn believes that everyone has mistreated her, from Gwendlyn's perspective, it's not that like, and Gwendlyn is fair in this episode where I want to just be clear that she doesn't ever think it's like a one-way street. Like it's never 100% anyone's like fault. Like unless Kody, I mean, it's Kody's fault most of the time. But when it comes to Robyn, she's a little bit more diplomatic. But when asked about Robyn's perception that everyone was so mean to her, which I've never seen on the show, and again, the show is scripted and kind of fake, but she said that Robyn is the one that treated them badly or played the victim. And that is like, I've never heard really one of the kids say that, like always playing the victim. I think they've alluded to it. And by no means do I want to say that like, if you're really a victim, you can be a victim. But she tries to make every situation where everyone is attacking her. And I think she does that so that she can get Kody's attention and attention from Kody. I just think that she uses it as a manipulation tactic. And I do think she does treat them badly. I mean, there's so many times on the show that I've watched her do things to people that are so conniving. Like when Meri wanted to go back to school and she was telling Meri she shouldn't do it. And where she's made backhanded comments about people's looks and appearances, or backhanded comments about the kids. It's just always, it's never Robyn's fault. And then finally, I just want to wrap this video up by saying that she made a mention about how she found it really weird very weird that Robyn was so sick with COVID, but yet at the hospital somehow had the bandwidth and the wherewithal to pull out her camera, even though she was claiming that she couldn't breathe and couldn't talk, but somehow made the decision that she should film. And she found that weird. She found that voyeuristic. She said that it just seems like she couldn't understand if someone is that ill, why you would pull out your camera. I almost got the sense that it was like maybe Robyn isn't as ill as she's portraying, even though Gwendlyn didn't say it. Like, why else would you do that? If you can't talk, why are you filming? And I also think it's that Robyn will do anything for the show to get content for the show. It's just a performance. Gwendlyn says a lot without saying a lot. I mean, she can say things without necessarily saying them. So Robyn is always the victim. Robyn is jealous of Meri getting on dates and going out on dates, which probably means that Robyn and Meri are not on good terms. I am assuming because Kody doesn't like Meri, that Meri is going to get slandered and cast out. And I wouldn't doubt if Robyn gets vindictive against Meri for leaving her, even though she wasn't really a part of the marriage for years. And Gwendlyn says Robyn constantly playing the victim and her dad playing favorites is just why this family blew up. He always took Robyn's side because he had favorites. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.